Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. For this Metaphysical Moments episode, I will be sharing an esoteric method that will vastly improve your ability to move between states, which are psychological arrangements of the human mind through which you live in the physical world. State swapping, as I like to call it, serves an essential purpose relative to our being in the world in the first place and is actually what many people conflate what is popularly known as manifesting with. This is a topic I'm actually pretty excited about, but before I go in, I have to thank you all for watching and subscribing. Also, please continue to like, share, ask questions, and leave feedback and all the rest. Just to mention, if you have questions that don't pertain to the upload content, you're very welcome to submit those via my website contact form. The link will be in the description box. So, state swapping, what do we need to know? Well, first of all, we need to know that when we swap states, each subsequent occupation must be in a state superior in every aspect to the one we're in now. Secondly, we must accept certain metaphysical principles as true. And thirdly, we must believe that what we are attempting to do is possible. Of all the principles to accept as true when it comes to moving states, I would say that the most challenging refers to the factuality of our lives, meaning they have not followed an inevitable trajectory in the way they seem to have done, but rather that our lives have been a sequence of events produced by occupation of the closely related psychological states we've inhabited throughout the course of them. That being said, once you wrap your head around this, a lot begins to make sense. And interestingly, movement to new states feels a lot more real. And don't be worried about this. I mean, for one thing, we've been given the gift of revision, which helps us to deal with events and things that we went through during the course of our lives while we were completely ignorant of these facts. And so we can go back and alter and tinker around as we see fit. So that's what we need to grasp. Our human lives have always been a psychological production, despite the verisimilitude of our physical experiences. Another very important principle relates to any effort you make to change your life as it presently is by changing your behavior or your habits or attempting to bring new features into it. Neville Goddard calls this an exercise in futility, and that's because our lives are not objectively factual and cannot be changed this way. We can only alter our lives psychologically. And it's worth noting that no matter how attached we are to our human aspects, they remain as ever our servants. And just to mention the Bible here, because it gives us so much esoteric insight and instruction as to how we must treat our human bodies through the allegories littered across the 5 books of Moses, which are Genesis to Deuteronomy. Moving on then, let's talk about how you can learn to swap states at will by practicing the following practical esoteric method of movement. So here's the method. As usual, you want to set the stage by getting comfortable and then becoming happily expectant, which I describe as remembering good news. People have written to ask how they should feel, and having checked and run through all the feeling vocabulary for this, I can tell you that this is exactly the vocabulary you're looking for. Remembering good news evokes feelings that pertain in particular to the certainty of a happy outcome. So once you've done that, simply close your eyes, do a cycle of breaths, as many as you need, then smile and open your creative vortex by placing your attention on it. Then what you're going to do is imagine yourself feeling hot. You can do this by evoking a memory of being in an uncomfortably warm environment and focusing all of your attention on your reactions. Just allow your human body to re-experience being hot. Don't keep this going for too long. If you were irritable or thirsty or you were sweating, that's all good. You may find you have similar physical responses during this exercise, but allow it to happen. And then, without warning, move to an experience of feeling cold and go through the same process. So remember being cold. You can, in both instances, remember where you were or what you were doing, if that helps. And again, re-experience the sensations you felt, whether numbing of your fingers or a runny nose and so on. And don't be alarmed if you find yourself having these same physical responses. It's actually good if that happens. So what you're learning to do with this exercise is communicate using the language of consciousness without the need for human thought or communication modalities. I suggest that you switch back 2 or 3 times, and longer if you want to, or more often if you want to, but listen to your body and please stop when it tells you to stop. And in total, you don't need to spend more than 5 to 10 minutes on this exercise. And as usual, this type of thing gets shorter as you get better rehearsed. Ultimately, this exercise is teaching you the vocabulary of movement. After you've had enough and have revived yourself, you go about your normal business. You don't need to check in or think about it unless you're feeling all tingly. And also rest if you feel you need to do that. That's important. And it's as simple as that, because you're not actually learning anything new. You're remembering how to do what you already can do. With this particular activity, what will happen is that when it comes to moving to a new state, the process will be a lot more fluid. It's like learning to ride a bicycle or to drive a car. Give this exercise a try. It is rudimentary, but it is astonishingly effective. And it actually touches on the EGIM technology I teach that many of you have asked me about. So think about how you can use this type of movement to trigger deeper awarenesses of consciousness for yourself. I'd love for you to get quietly confident and excited about what you are capable of as you connect more intensely with your source origin. So as I say, please give this a try and share your feedback. It's so wonderful to hear about the kind of results that you're getting, and it's a great encouragement to others as well. Thank you again for listening. This has been an original Kate Jaggetti technology and presentation. And until next time, stay phenomenally you.